Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I'd like to call to order Public Health and Community Service. Could I get a roll call, please?
Hendricks. Krieger.
Here.
Van Hoff.
Present.
Sullivan.
Here.
Shorten.
Here.
Althoff.
Here.
Von Bergen.
Here. Next up, could I get a motion for the minutes? Ms. Althoff, motions. Mr. Shorten, seconds. All those in favor? Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. Any public comments?
We have none.
None.
Last call, Alex?
Okay. All right, so moving on to member comments. Susan, go ahead.
I just kind of to let the committee know, we've talked about this before, but the Senior Services Grant Commission reviewed and is going to make a proposal about creating a definition for what consists of what a senior citizen is when it comes to the Senior Services Grant application. It's been inconsistent throughout the last several years. Some organizations view it at 55. Some organizations say it has to be 65. We're going to come up with a consistent definition and how to use that moving forward, just so we can use the data as well when we look back at things. So anyway, that'll come before you, and you can review it, and then it'll go to the board if we have to amend the bylaws or whatever. But it's a good thing to do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other member comments? Okay, seeing none, we've got new business, and we have Mr. Zook here. If you'd like to join us at the table, please. Interviewing for Community Development and Housing Grant Commission. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, good morning.
Certainly appreciate it. If you could take a couple minutes and tell us about yourself and your interest in the Housing Grant Commission.
Okay. Yeah, so, Zook, as mentioned. Grew up in Naperville, Aurora, Illinois. Went to school at Northern Illinois University for engineering, and I've been in heavy manufacturing for essentially my whole career, starting in 2004. Worked for a couple big companies like Caterpillar, off and on. So 10-year stint, mostly in manufacturing, engineering, design, operations, and went to one of their competitors, Komatsu, over when it was in Rolling Meadows. Did marketing and service for a few years. It was a full-time travel job. And then my son was born, so I had to stop traveling so much. My son's 10 at the moment. So got an offer to come back to Caterpillar, which they bought a company in Island Lake in the oil and gas industry. It was called Kemper Valve. So I was part of that integration and acquisition, did that for a couple of years, and now I'm at the company I work now. It's called Etnire, which is based in Oregon, Illinois. It's a 127-year-old family company, which has a couple divisions. They bought a company 4 years ago called SMF, which is based down in Minonk, Illinois. Probably not familiar with. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I found the person. Okay, perfect. It's a very small town of like 1,900 people. And it's heavy fab tier 1 supplier, so I run that company. We also have a location in Anderson, South Carolina, which is down by Greenville. So the one here in Illinois is about 280 people, around 300,000 square feet. The one in Anderson is about 80 people. Just put on an addition there, so it's around 100,000 square feet. So we sell, I worked for CAT for 12 years and 12, 14-ish years, because I was in school for some of it. And they're my main supplier now, main customer now. So I still have to deal with them, same people. I'm in electric power, so I do bases for gensets and oil pans, mainly at this moment for all the data centers going up. So business is extremely heavy and burdensome. Other main customer, Cummins. So again, electric power, and then we're big into green energy. So the wind turbines, we do the majority of the foundations for the turbines that go in the United States. So have a joint venture which I developed with a company in Denmark about a year ago. So their business is full green energy, and so they take over commercial sales. So my overall responsibilities is all the operations for the division and commercial responsibility. So that's kind of quick synopsis of professional career. I'm pretty new to McHenry County, just coming up on a year. I live over in Bryn Mawr, so I just bought a house over there. My son lives in Hawthorne Woods, so it's a great middle ground, and I have some friends over in that area. As far as, what I'm looking for and why I'm interested in this, it's, from my professional career, having the P&L responsibility, I've always been involved in the community, and I lived in Carpentersville, Dundee before I moved up here, and I really was looking for the Crystal Lake area. So really vested in making sure, I think McHenry County is fantastic. I think it's growing. I guess you guys would know that. And I want to make sure that, I have some sense and everyone in the community is better off because I have some kind of input rather than the opposite.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Do any members, okay, myself?
No, I always do.
Yep.
So, couple things. Number one, are you familiar, I noted on your application that the chairman had spoken to you. Are you familiar with the duties and the responsibilities and kind of the mission of what the commission does?
He gave me a kind of a broad sense of it. So as far as what the commission does, yes. As far as the duties of this specific position and the input that it would have, somewhat.
Can I do this then? I'm going to look at our chair, who also chairs the commission, and ask her to explain that. And my question after she gets done is the ability of you to commit to the time and attendance.
Yeah.
Okay? Thank you.
So I guess just a short discussion on what the commission actually does. We meet probably quarterly, if that, and there are 2 days which we looked at presentations and made allocations for the federal funds that we get, which is all community related. Sarah, would you, I guess, like to kind of give some details on like what community development does?
Sure. So community development, we oversee the federal funding that the county receives through an entitlement grant from HUD. And we have community development block grant. You'll hear a lot of acronyms, CDBG,
Yep.
and home funding. And as Tracy mentioned, we just had our deliberations. I don't recall the exact amount, but I want to say it was over $4 million in requests against roughly $1.4 million in funding.
About right.
And then for home, we had about $2 million in requests against over $600,000.
Okay.
So as part of the commission, we will be deliberating on the funding, what projects will receive what dollar amounts, and we just completed that.
I'll add that the projects they vary. They're very broad in scope, so it's economic development.
Can I ask a favor? Can you guys introduce yourselves so David
Sorry,
knows who you are? Kind of, sort of, why you're here?
We just love sitting in meetings, so we can't.
I get it.
Adam Wallen, Director of Planning Development. Sarah Ponitz, Community Development Administrator. So the CDHG, it's a commission that they will look at all these different, whether it's infrastructure, housing-related projects, economic development. It's a very broad category focused on low to moderate income areas and census tracts within the county. Primarily, those are going to be located within municipalities.
Okay.
So, and then service providers. So there's going to be a whole plethora of different service providers that'll provide anything. And it could be a walking path, or it could be transportation. It's a whole gamut of services that would fall under that umbrella of funding eligibility.
The focus on the low to moderate income areas.
Yep.
Okay.
That's our spiel.
Yeah, but typically, really the 2 days for presentations and allocations, those are the longest days, and it's really about a day and a half back to back. Otherwise, the meetings are quarterly and they're short meetings. So really the most important one is that presentation and allocation meeting, so that's kind of the one that we,
And you set those ahead of time, right? I mean, okay,
Yes.
so I would just ask that you make every effort. It's extraordinarily important for people
Yeah.
to show up, right? I mean, you heard the challenge,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, it's
So-
typically March, April, so about the same time each year.
And it sounds like you have great expertise.
Yeah.
You'd be a great voice to add to the whole, group and ensemble that is there. But again, you gotta be there to participate.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I report to our CEO, and I've talked to him about this position. He's excited as well. So the time allocated is, I don't believe it's an issue at all. Majority of my time is working remote from my home. I only go down to the office about 1 day a week. So it's no issue, I'd say.
That's great. And then again, I would offer, obviously, availability of the chair or even of Adam and Sarah, if you have any questions prior to, the meeting, so that you can kind of land on your feet. And then online, on our website, there's a great deal of explanation of exactly what the commission is and who sits on the commission and the representation. So, you can familiarize, I'm having a real hard time this morning. Familiarize yourself with, again, the individuals as well as the mission and some of the applicants.
Perfect.
And we've been trying to implement kind of an orientation for new members, just to kind of give you the background and details so that, you're aware of everything beforehand. So, yeah.
I just want to thank you, Mike Shorten, County Board District 4. I want to thank you for welcome to McHenry County and welcome to Crystal Lake. And I want to thank you for...
He'll tell you it's the best community.
I won't, because I don't want to get into a fight with Sagar, even though he's wrong.
And he's not here, you can say it. I said it,
Real fight.
I said it the other day, he was here. Crystal Lake is
We'll fight over
really
who
a
has the
great
best.
place to be.
Don't tell Dr. Sagar, but Crystal Lake is much, much better than Woodstock. But welcome to the community, and I genuinely appreciate you stepping forward, especially I know I don't look that old, but a younger person with your education experience stepping into it. Oftentimes we have a lot of vacancies on these boards that don't get filled, and we end up with a shortage of people to step forward. So I'm really grateful that you stuck your neck out. It's not that far. It's going to be fun. But
Yeah, I'm
Great
extremely excited.
entrance.
Mhm.
Yeah, I would also like to say thank you for being here. And I love your background. I had some background in industrial and manufacturing engineering, and was at Caterpillar in DuPage County.
Okay.
Yeah, it was wonderful, just very great environment. So it's good to have some diversity like that on the board. So, you come from that a diverse field, usually a lot of people who sign up or, not.
Yeah.
I think you're the first.
Oh, I knew I was unique.
Definitely fills a gap in. Do we have any other questions, comments, discussion? No? Okay, well, thank you once
All right.
again for coming in. We will move right into deliberation. So, Ms. Altoff.
I make a motion to appoint David Zook to the, let me read it so I get it right and I don't mess it up, Community Development and Housing Grant Commission, serving until his term would expire on December 15th, 2000. Oh, no, that's when it expires. So how many years is it for?
So he is filling a
Oh,
vacancy.
only until
Yes.
December 15th, 2025.
Yes.
Okay. Vacancy, that's my motion.
I'll
And
second.
Mr. Shorten seconds. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Great. Welcome,
Congratulations.
and thank you very much.
Well, it's actually gotta go to the
No,
county
that-
board, it's
no,
gotta go to the
December-
county board.
December 15th of this year, your term's up, so if you screw it up,
Yeah, you're out.
easy out.
But it goes to the county board.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, so I believe it'll be formally voted on by the entire county board, and then you will be official.
Okay.
So, great. Well, thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
You too.
You too.
Stay dry.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, moving on. we have 0 on the routine consent agenda.
Oh,
So,
my goodness.
I know. No old business, no presentations. Hopefully we have a update on the status of some federal funding.
If I may, Melissa reached out to me yesterday and she said, what's federal funding on there? I said, I think we had kind of put this on the agenda a month ago when we learned about the $600,000 respiratory grant that the federal government was working on. That was a 2-year grant. We had already received $150,000 up front and made some additional expenditures beyond then. And we kind of just said, let's keep this on the agenda as additional items come forward, if they do, or we get more information on that particular respiratory grant. We've received neither. We've received information on no additional cuts nor any additional information on the reductions on the respiratory grant. So I don't have anything to say. Melissa said, well, should I come there? I said, no, I can handle it, and I'll say what I just said. Melissa's going to be across the street at 9 o'clock. We're going to have a court hearing on the Huntley dog situation that you guys were alerted to a month ago, and I thought it was more important that she be over there. I think there is going to be some significant developments today. I don't want to speak out of court, but I think there will be some movement on that case, and I will be communicating with all of you via email yet today or tomorrow before I go home. So we'll have a little bit of an update there. I've talked with the attorneys, and I think it's going to be a more significant day today.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, that's exactly kind of what we were looking for. I know last month it was, there was a lot of talk about a lot of cuts. So moving forward, just to kind of stay up on anything that we should be aware of. Yes, Ms. Hunt?
Do we anticipate any issues with the community development dollars?
Anticipate, no. Prepared for, yes. I mean, when the first memo came out, we were frozen for, as the time stated, and then of our 4 funding streams, one of them was frozen until about 10:45 in the morning, but then everything's cleared up. We were impacted. We have a FEMA floodplain structures survey, structure survey in the floodplain that was funded by FEMA. That's been frozen. So, and actually we've gotten a memo that's done. That program is ceased. So that's the only impact we've had.
And while you're standing there too, I think we've introduced Sarah to everyone, but
We
can
have-
we introduce?
yeah. Maria Avila has joined us 2.5 weeks in. I think your first week was the CDH or the Senior Services meeting. So yeah, so Maria will be taking over Senior Services, our point person for Senior Services.
Nice.
Yeah, we're very excited.
Welcome.
She's made several immediate impacts to the division, and we're very excited.
And I'll just throw in, one of the very first things we did, because I know that you're all interested, is met with the treasurer. Maria met with the treasurer, with Sarah, and we ensured that our investment in those accounts are still giving us interest for that senior services grant money, which is going to allow us to build up a reserve, which is extraordinarily, so thank you for taking that step right away.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Okay. Are there any future topics anybody is interested in moving forward? Okay, I see no reason for executive session, so I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Ms. Altoff, Mr. Shorten, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against?
So
Motion carries.